Hey guys, so today I am doing my freshman advice / tips video. I know it's probably really soon to be doing this because it's like end of July and school's coming up, as sad as it is. So I thought I'd start with after school series and kick it off with a freshman advice video. I just got out of my freshman year. I'm going into my sophomore year of high school, and I know a lot of my viewers are younger and may not be going into high school yet, maybe middle school, so maybe you guys can like take some of these tips and put them in a middle school perspectives, which high school and middle school are different, like two totally different things, but I mean some of these tips can apply for middle school a little bit, so bear with me. And I know a lot of my viewers as well are going into high school, so I thought I would give this video for you guys and just do some tips and things of my personal perspective of high school and my freshman year. Just like note, these are my personal opinions, and everybody has their own opinion, but this is just how I would describe my freshman year, and some tips and things for freshman year as well. Getting lost was one of my #1 fears of going into high school because it's definitely a bigger campus from what most people are used to. I know the two high schools where I live are definitely bigger campuses, and one of the high schools is really spread out, and where I go to school isn't really that big, but it's like classes are kind of spread out and stuff, so it was definitely a fear of like getting lost, and I was just really scared about that. But nothing to worry about. The upperclassmen are super nice, or at least, most of them are. I mean, I don't think any upperclassmen are gonna be like, no, I'm not gonna show you where your classes are. So if you cannot find a class or something, just, ask like an upperclassman around, like, hey, do you know where room 506 is or something like that, and I'm sure they will definitely be happy to help. Any people that I asked where any classes were really nice and helped me with that. Also, on orientation day, it is a really good idea to go around and like map out your class. So usually you get your scheduled orientation, and then you usually can get a tour around the school. Sometimes people will give you tours around the school, which is really nice, or you can just go off on your own, is what I did. And I walked around each of my classes, so I had an idea of how it was like, what trail and so I was going to take, so I got used to it. And usually after the first week of school, you don't really need your schedule anymore because you're really used to where your classes are and you start getting in the feel of it. You can definitely just, I recommend carrying your schedule around the first week of school with you, or taking a picture of it and having it on your phone with you somewhere where it's near you and you will be able to find it. But definitely mapping out your classes is a super good idea. As for schoolwork, freshman year, schoolwork is super easy. I'm not going to say it's super easy, but it's pretty easy. But it's not really the hardest. You take general classes that pretty much every freshman takes. But if you definitely don't understand something, then I highly recommend going and asking a teacher, or there usually are people around the school to work with you if you need help, like after school or during lunch. So definitely take advantage of that, because if you aren't understanding something, you don't want to fail that semester of the class and then have to retake it the following year, which puts you behind in all your other classes. So definitely ask for help. Teachers are more than happy to help you with your work. They always want you to go in, and they're more than happy to help you. Also, study before tests and quizzes. It's kind of like a general idea, kind of everybody knows to do that. I really can't say study because I didn't study a lot of the time. My work wasn't really hard. It was kind of just, as long as I paid attention in class, I mostly, understood the test. I didn't really feel like you really have to crack down on studying so much freshman year, but it definitely is nice to get in the hang of studying and stuff. Most of your classes are pretty easy unless you take advanced classes. The only advanced class I took was English, which wasn't really a big difference from regular English. It was just kind of more they put more work on you than they do in regular English, but it's pretty much the same work, just in a harder perspective. But mainly, it's not really hard. Just, pay attention in class, and, it's like you'll understand it and pass the test. Or if you're a person that has to study and you have to process it a little while, then definitely I recommend studying just to make sure you pass the test. I've heard from a lot of people in the past that they did not take freshman year serious and it caught up to them. A lot of people think that you don't have to take freshman year serious. It's just freshman year, it's basic work. It's nothing serious, but freshman year does count. I really can't stress that enough. As much as I went into freshman year thinking, oh, it's not going to count, I don't have to, I didn't really say my grades don't matter, but I didn't really feel like they mattered as much as your sophomore through your junior year and senior year matter, but they definitely do matter, because not so much colleges will look back on it, but it does help like with your cumulative GPA. So definitely take it serious, and if you don't, then it will catch up to you. And retaking classes, your sophomore year classes that freshmen are in, I mean, personally me, I wouldn't want to be in like, you know, like a math class, like a freshman math class as a sophomore or like as a junior because I didn't pass it. So definitely take your freshman year serious. Don't take it too serious to the point where you're stressing yourself out, but definitely, you know, take it serious and do the best you can do, and you will be definitely fine. As for being social, definitely mix around with your friends. If you've hung out with one clique, I know this is like a really like thing at my school kind of. If you hang out with one clique, you kind of are just like set, like that's the clique you hung out with like in middle school, so you're going to go into high school with them. But definitely mix around with your friends, meet new people. I definitely became friends with people I never thought I would be friends with this year, and people in my classes that I've never talked to before I started talking to, and then we started hanging out at school and we became friends. So definitely mix around with your friends, and don't feel like you have to be tied down to this one clique the whole time, because you can be friends with those people, that group of people, but you can also like mix around and, you know, go hang out with somebody else. But don't forget about your old friends, because, you know, they were your friends at once, so don't, you know, forget about them. But also, like I said, just doing stuff like that really works. As for organization, being organized for freshman year is a really good tip, because even though you don't have a lot of work, it prepares you for organizing for your like, you know, your next years, like sophomore, junior, and senior year, and those obviously have a lot more work than freshman year do, so you will already be prepared. You don't need a binder for every class. I know a lot of people do that where they get a binder for every class, and you really don't. Just a few notebooks for your general classes and then a binder or two. What I did is I had a binder for my morning classes, and then I had a binder for my afternoon classes, so I just went to my locker and switched out my binders throughout the day. So like at lunch, once it came to lunch, I would get my afternoon classes and then put my morning classes binder away. That was my way of organizing. That's personally how I like organizing, but a lot of my friends also just had one inch binder and they were fine the entire year. You mainly just take notes in most of your classes, so just get a notebook and a pen or pencil and you will be totally fine. You do not need to stress about getting a million binders. Getting involved is definitely a great way to meet new people, join clubs, join different electives, join sports, definitely things you never thought you would do. It definitely opens you up to a wide variety of friends. Like sports and stuff is definitely a way to meet people, because you will become friends with people on your team, and then you can hang out with them outside of school or in school, which is really nice. I was a part of ASB, so I met a lot of people through ASB, and a lot of my friends were in ASB, so definitely joining clubs gives good ideas. I know there's a ton of clubs at schools. Doing something that you never thought you would do and getting out of your comfort zone is super nice, so just get involved. You don't want to remember like high school or your freshman year as you were like the kid who never got involved in anything, because you will probably most likely regret that. So you want to be involved. Remember, like, doing stuff is your freshman year and in high school. So that is it for my freshman advice video. I hope that helped you guys and gave you guys a general idea of high school. If you guys have any questions, you guys can comment below and I will get back to you on them. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye guys!
Fresh Kid Z, Fresh Kid C, yes, sir. Fresh Kid P, Fresh Kid T. Oh yeah, we back.